what thoughts keep you guys up at night? I can go first. I'll go right now. Perfect idea. So one thing that I think about a lot is that I think the public school system as we know it is going to be like gone within the next 5 to 15 years. And not that the current public school system is good, but what I think is going to happen is that it's going to switch to like a AI online version, and that's public school. Like that's the free public option. And I was talking about this and I was like, I feel like kids will just come to school to like get a meal and get on their Chromebook and do like AI powered modules and not actually be taught by like a certified skilled expert teacher, but they'll just be doing online stuff. And then maybe the school buildings will be run by like security or I don't really know. And then one of my colleagues was like, I actually don't think that'll happen. She was like, I think they're going to get rid of the public schools altogether. And the free public school option is going to be that you can go to the library to get a hotspot and a Chromebook and you get access to all the AI online modules of whatever. And she was like, and I think that like literally our jobs in the buildings will just become like moot. And so I think it'll be one of those two things or maybe a combination of them. And that's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. And I think that it is kind of like the natural progression of the deprofessionalization of teachers that we've really seen. And if you don't work in education, I'm going to give you like an example of what I'm talking about. Teachers used to be viewed in more of like a, oh yeah, they're a teacher, that's their job. They know what to do. And now there's this really big push that makes me want to shove my head through a window where they're like, you're not a teacher. You're a facilitator. And basically they want teachers delivering pretty garbage lessons that are made either by like companies or district staff. And so like the teacher isn't actually writing the lessons and like responding to their students and like creating things based on what their students need. They're just facilitating plans that came from somebody else. And part of the reason this is happening is because like teacher pay is so low, it has not kept up with inflation. So like turnover is really high. Most teachers leave within 5 years. So a lot of the people coming in do not have the skills and expertise to be making high quality lessons. So I feel like instead of reinvesting into education, our society has just gone the other way where we've like really deprofessionalized education and don't value it anymore the way we used to. Did we ever value it though? Whatever. And public schools are very good for the economy. Like having a literate society is good for your country in many ways, economics being one of them, because that's the only thing anyone gives a fuck about apparently. So this is like going to be really bad in really tangible ways that affect like all of us. And I think it's literally just going to be, the government's going to be like, well, you do have technically free schooling. And if you don't like the Chromebook AI option, you can always pay for private school. That's your freedom. And that's your right to pay for private school. And I think that education is just going to become even more inequitable than it is now, where it'll basically be if your parents have money, you get to go to school, and if your parents don't have money, you're on like a government Chromebook trying to teach yourself. One other thing I wanted to add, this is already kind of happening in not small ways, but more subtle ways. One thing I've noticed a very dramatic increase in, I would say really in the last year and a half, it's been very recent, is teachers being told like, here's this computer program, it auto assigns the kids, like it gives them a diagnostic, it auto assigns their modules. That's what they're doing. And I've seen that in a few subject areas and a few formats, and it's not all day, every day. But the first time I saw that, it was like, oh, they do that for 20 minutes once a week. And it's just been steadily going up to now some in-person public school classes are primarily that. Online respondent modules, not actual human interaction. And I'm not saying it's impossible to learn stuff from online modules, but I think especially for younger children and especially for students who struggle with literacy, it's just not the most effective way to learn, and there's a lot of data supporting that.